Hello and welcome to Monson Made This. My name is Michael.
My name is Ben.
And I cook vegan food.
And I film that vegan food usually.
Most of the time. Today we're doing something completely different that we've never done before, inspired by what we've seen other people on YouTube do.
But we've seen on Chopped, because it's Chopped.
Yeah, more specifically, we've seen it on Chopped, because that's exactly what we're doing, is a Chopped challenge. Normally there'd be more than one person competing. It's just me against myself, but aren't most competitions just about...
And social distancing, can't really get people over here. We had a whole list of vegan celebrities that were going to come over.
All of them.
None of them could make it,
so next time. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to go hide myself down the hall. Ben is going to go through the cupboards, fridge, freezer.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to shoot, but maybe I'll shoot like a clip or two of me looking through stuff. But the idea is obviously to get some ingredients that maybe he's not familiar cooking with, to throw him off.
I mean, theoretically, I've purchased everything already here, but yeah, okay, your job is to try to throw me off.
He's a little confident right now.
So he's going to choose 4 ingredients out of the kitchen. I'm going to try to put them in the box. I'm going to try to cook something amazing with them, which he will eat and judge and let me know if I've won the challenge.
Or made something terrible and disgusting. We'll find out.
So hopefully he chooses things that are a little bit off the wall, gives me a bit of a challenge, not being too afraid that he's going to have to eat the food, so he would be cautious about using something. So I want you to
have anything in here that would be that bad anyways.
No, and I'd like to think that I could make it work. So I'm going to run down the hall, shut myself in his office so I can't hear him talking to y'all, and then I'll be back to cook something amazing, hopefully with the 4 ingredients that he's picked.
Okay.
All right, I'm out of here.
Bye. Okay, so I just opened this first cabinet, and I'm already kind of overwhelmed because I don't cook. So coming up with ingredients for him to make something out of is actually kind of a daunting task. I don't know if I should just kind of pick totally random or if I should really just try to pick stuff that will absolutely throw him off. But I haven't really decided what I'm gonna pick yet, but when I find an item or two, I'll show you what I come up with. Okay, I think I found the first item I'm going to use. This will give him, I don't know, this will give him some options, but might also kind of limit what he can make. So I think this is the first thing I'm gonna go with. Okay, so for my second item, I think I'm gonna go with this, because I don't really understand how those two things would go together. So those are the 2 things I've gotten so far. What else? Okay, so I think for the third thing, I'm gonna go with some of these because we've been eating a lot of them lately. Odie absolutely loves them. And these seem really weird with what I've already grabbed. So here we go. Now I just need to find one more thing. Okay, and here we are with the last item. Michael's made some videos with these recently and was actually gonna do a series with more of these. So I think this is an okay choice. I don't know, maybe these 4 things are completely random. Maybe they're actually gonna be easy to make something with. I'm sure all of you watching probably have a much better idea than I do, but either way, I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna put this on top of everything, and then we'll reveal this to Michael here in a second.
I have been down the hall anxiously waiting for him to finish this. I think he took like 20 minutes. And I'm starving, so I hope that he chose things that I can actually cook with. So let's see what's in the box. Honestly, I wasn't expecting. You were worried that you weren't going to do a good job, but I think that you've done a great job. We have black beans, curry powder, apples, and Capt'n Crunch. And already my mind is kind of working on, I think, well, obviously there's curry powder here. I think I want to make some curry powder, some curry. Using the apple to sweeten it up, because that's kind of a common thing to use apple for sweetness in curries. And I know I have tofu in the fridge, so I think I want to do like a Capt'n Crunch battered tofu with a black bean curry and applesauce. And I've got some veggies too, which I'll probably throw in there. So I'm going to start pulling things out of the fridge and get to cooking. So my thought process here is I'm going to take one of these apples. I don't have to use both of them, right? No. I just have to use one of them. So I'm going to take the apple, I'm going to blend it up in probably the NutriBullet, and I'm going to mix that with the curry powder, onions, some of this mushroom broth powder, and coconut milk, and that's going to be the curry. I'm going to put some black beans in there because I think that could work. Cilantro and green onion will go sort of in there / on top. I have these greens. I just need to use these, so I'm going to be sauteing these up as well. Oh, I also have some green chilies that'll go in that curry sauce as well. I have my tofu, and I'm going to drain this a little bit. I'm going to slice it thinly, and then I have chickpea flour that I'm going to mix with water, and that's going to be the binder that will adhere the crunched up Captain Crunch onto. Should I sear it, or do you think I should go full deep fry? I'm gonna go full deep fry. Why not? Yeah, I'm gonna deep fry it. Yeah, I'm deep frying it. So then that's what's gonna happen, and then so it'll be the greens on the plate. It'll be like a katsu curry. So it'll be Captain Crunch Tofu Katsu with a black bean golden curry. I'm excited. I took a second just to organize myself. I have my tofu breading section over there, and I'll do that in a little bit. Right now I'm gonna cut up the apple, pepper, green onion, and cilantro just so I have it ready to go. That's my curry section over here. And then over here I have the thing that I'm gonna be using to deep fry, and the magic bullet or NutriBullet that I'll be using to blend up the apple, which I think I want to leave. I'm gonna blend up some of the apple so that it's puree and just adds the sweetness, but I think I also want to add some small little, maybe like 1/4 inch diced bits of apple in there as well, just for a little bit of texture and kind of like a sweet pop. Sounds good to me. So I'm gonna cut the apple up into those little bits. I can't have apple in the kitchen without giving some to Odie, so I have to give some to him as well. So I'm saying about half of it will remain in 1/4 inch bits, and then I'll just puree the other half. And I'm gonna give Odie this tail end. There you go, buddy. Cut up my apple how I want it, and now I'm going to cut up this green onion. I'll use the green for garnish on top, and I'll add the white inside the curry. For some heat, I'm going to be adding a Thai green pepper. This is super spicy, which Ben and I like. The last thing I'm going to add is just a bit of cilantro. This will mostly be just for on top or added at the very end. I've got these veggies prepped. The next thing to do is to blend up the apple. I'll build the curry at the stove behind me while the tofu finishes draining, and I will bread that and fry that very last, because the curry can be all finished and just kind of hang out until everything else is done. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit, blend the apple, and then I'll meet you back at the stove. I pureed the apple in the NutriBullet, and in here, this pot, I have some sesame oil, the onion that was already chopped up, the green chili, and the diced apple. So I'm gonna just let this saute for a little bit, get maybe a little bit golden and soft, and then I'll be ready to add the liquid ingredients, one of which would be the pureed apple. My onions, apples are starting to brown up and soften, so now I want to add my curry powder so that I can kind of release some of the fragrance here. And I'm probably going to add maybe like a tablespoon and a half. So I'm just going to toast the spices in here for just a minute, and then I added some water to the apple puree. I will be adding this in next. Then I'll add in my coconut milk. I'll let that go, and I'll probably be adding some cornstarch to thicken it at the end. Also, the mushroom broth powder, I'll add that. Taste for salt, because with all this apple, I don't want it to go too sweet. Knowing that I'm going to be putting it on Captain Crunch, everything's really, really sweet right now, so I'm going to need to balance that out. All right, time to add the liquid. And the coconut milk. I'm gonna start out with just about half of a can. Got this at a light simmer. I'm gonna add my mushroom broth powder. You could use any type of bouillon, I'm sure. And I'm gonna add some of the Bragg's liquid aminos as my saltiness. And then I'm going to give this a taste and just to see where things are, if it needs more curry, needs more anything else. And then this can just hang out while I work on the tofu. I really like the texture. It's pretty thick. I'm gonna give it a taste and see what it needs. Actually, it's not too sweet at all. I do want to add some more curry powder and some more Bragg, so I'm gonna add those now. And then this is just gonna simmer here and hang out while I work on the tofu. I forgot about the black beans, so I'm actually gonna add those. Just gonna add maybe about half the can. And this is gonna hang out now while I work on the tofu. I have the Captain Crunch here in this NutriBullet cup, and I'm going to blend this really quick. And here it is all blended up, and I'm just going to put it in this bowl plate. This is going to be the breading, as I've said a few times. And this is nice and vibrant, golden. And I'm going to salt and pepper this though, because this is pretty much all sugar right now, so I want to balance out the sweetness of it. I'm sure I could add some other seasonings as well, but I think this will be good. I'm just gonna mix it up with my hands, or I guess I can use the fork that I have hidden under here. And then I want to give it a taste just to see if I've balanced out the sweetness enough. Still really sweet, more salt, more pepper. I think that it needs something more going on than just sweetness, so I'm gonna be adding some onion powder and garlic powder just to add a bit more flavor, a bit more nuance to it. Mix it up again, and I'll give it another taste. It's a lot more balanced now. Got some garlic powder in my throat. A lot more balanced now. Excuse me. So I think this is gonna be great. I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm going to make the wet part of it, which is going to be chickpea flour and some water. This is my favorite binder. You've seen me do this a lot of times. I did this on my air fryer video. It's just a great way to create like an egg substitute that just helps things stick to whatever it is that you're frying or air frying. And you just need equal parts chickpea flour and water. And I think I'm actually gonna add some liquid aminos into this as well, just to add another layer of flavor. I've started to preheat my oil up to 350, and now I'm going to bread these in Captain Crunch. So I've just thinly sliced this tofu that pressed for maybe 20 minutes, not that long. So I'm just gonna coat this in the chickpea flour batter and then put it into the Captain Crunch. I'll do a couple. Yeah, this chickpea flour batter is the best way to do this. The only issue is that it doesn't taste amazing. So you can't really taste it as it is because it'll throw you off and make you think that your food's gonna taste completely different than it actually will. And I'm gonna bread the top. Without a utensil, there's really no way to do this without getting a little bit messy. I feel like I've seen like Captain Crunch battered or breaded chicken tenders. I think it's something like Planet Hollywood. I think they have it. Planet Hollywood. I think the Vegas one was like the last one in the chain. I don't know, is it still open? I feel like Captain Crunch chicken fingers were like one of their signature items. So that's what they look like. Kind of impressed actually. I'm gonna finish doing the rest of these and then I will head over to the deep fryer and drop these in. My oil is heated up to about 350, so I'm going to add these in a couple at a time, carefully. I think maybe I can do 3. And then when these are golden brown and crispy, I'll take them out, salt them a little bit on top so that they stay crispy, stay seasoned. Curry's just about finished up over there. It's actually been off for a couple minutes hanging out. The last thing to do is just gonna be saute those greens up and then we're ready to eat. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. Beautiful golden brown. Draining them on this little rack here. It's gorgeous color. Said I'm gonna salt them up really quick and continue frying the rest. Look how beautiful these look. I'm really impressed and I'm excited to try these. The only thing to do now is to saute these greens. So I just got a little bit of sesame oil in this pan. I'm just gonna saute them until they're a little bit tender, a little bit softened. I'm gonna clean up because it's quite messy, figure out how I'm gonna plate this, and then I'll be back to show you, well, to show Ben this dish and to see if he actually enjoys it, to see if I win this chop challenge. Greens have a nice caramelization, and if you know what these are called, please comment down below. I bought them because they looked great, and I didn't see what the name was. So I'm just gonna put a couple of these on the side of the plates because I don't know what else to do with them. Ben doesn't necessarily love these. If they're anything like a bok choy or something, he's not really gonna be a fan of these, but it wasn't part of the mystery set of ingredients, so that's fine if I fail on that account. Let's add the tofu, which I'm really impressed by. Let's do 3. Yeah, 3 looks good. Super crispy. Hopefully I got the balance of the sweet and savory. And then I'm just gonna drizzle the curry sauce over the top, which has the apples, the black beans. What other ingredients did I have? It also has coconut milk in it. I'm really excited. It smells incredible. From what I've tasted, it's delicious. Hopefully Ben likes it. And if you guys want to try this, I will have a full written recipe on my website. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to watch this again and see what amounts of ingredients I use, but I should be able to do that. Very last thing, a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of green onion. Not a bad plate, if I do say so myself. And here we have Captain Crunch curry with apples and a green vegetable whose name I didn't get. You ready to try it, Ben?
Okay.
So we'll,
Moment of truth time, I guess.
Is this where you thought that it would go at all?
I honestly didn't know what you were going to make, and then filming this, thinking about it, I'm like, I'm not sure what rules should be in place. Like, I think maybe there should be a limit on other ingredients plus the 4 items.
So, well, if you want us to do this again, then definitely comment below and let us know if there's any other rules you think we should put on this. Well, let's try it.
Yeah,
it looks
interesting.
I'll let you dig in first.
I think the thing that throws me off the most is the beans in the curry. I've never had beans in curry before.
I think they'll be, I don't think you'll notice them too much.
And why don't you know the name of this?
Because I bought it at Seafood City, which is my favorite Asian market, and I just thought that they looked good, and I wanted to get some more greens in my life, so I bought them, and yeah. So I'm dishing myself up a bite, even though I'm going to wait for you to... I got you a knife. Okay.
It doesn't need a knife.
You need some of the curry on it, though. I think you need more curry sauce than that. Okay.
Okay.
It's a little on the sweet side. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it. It reminds me of curry zen. Or zen curry, whatever.
There's a place in Vegas we used to go to called Curry Zen or Zen Curry. It's a Japanese curry place. I think you can get Tofu Katsu, but it's not vegan. They do have other tofu ones you can get, but flavor is really good. Mm-hmm. I think the sweet savory is balanced out pretty well. It is a little bit on the sweeter side, I will admit.
See, I like that.
Which maybe, let me try the unknown greens here. These, I'm guaranteeing will have a bit of bitterness, so that'll probably help to balance out some of the sweetness as well.
See, you keep saying sweet. I don't really, it doesn't read as sweet to me. It
really?
reads like balanced. I think it's really good.
So I win?
I think you win. I think you made something pretty good.
Awesome.
Most people wouldn't know that was just like random ingredients.
Right. Captain Crunch specifically.
Yeah, the beans I don't really notice in the curry.
No.
They don't really I don't know if they're really adding to it. They don't take away or make it anything weird.
Well, I think you did a great job choosing the ingredients because they were weird. They were off-putting. Apples, Captain Crunch, black beans. What was the last one? Curry powder.
Curry powder.
So, great job.
I like that, the little bits of apple in the curry. I think that's good.
Like I said, that's usually, like, I know they sell a Japanese-style curry with apple in it, so that's where my mind already went because I was like, oh, that's already a thing. So. Well, thank you all for watching. Again, if you want to see more videos like this, comment below and let us know if there's any other rules or things that we should implement before doing this again. Thank you for supporting this channel. If you're supporting me on Patreon, us on Patreon, or on YouTube channel memberships, again, you can click join below to have access to that. I'll be finishing eating this on my Monson Ate This, well, in a Monson Ate This video, which are only available to Patreons and channel members. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I think that's it. I think, again, pretty successful job. I'm
I agree.
surprised.
I'm ready to finish eating it. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.